Hey, this is John Vartanian with M.A.V. Mortgage, and this video is going to deal with closing costs. So when you're buying a home, who pays the closing costs? I mean, what is the buyer responsible for? What is the seller responsible for? The truthful answer is that it's all negotiable, okay? Now, when you're putting a contract together and you're gonna make an offer on someone's house, there's a list. I mean, there's literally, hey, you pay for this, I'll pay for this, and you check mark your way through it, and it's totally, completely negotiable. But depending upon the area that you live in, you're gonna have what are called reasonable or customary ways or fees that you're gonna pay, and reasonable customary things that the seller is gonna be responsible for. Here in Fresno, what we will typically do is the buyer is responsible for anything related to their loan, so appraisals, notary, title insurance, underwriting, all of that good stuff. They're also going to be responsible possibly for any inspections they want to get. So if they want to have a home inspection done or a well or septic report, they're going to usually be responsible for some of those on their end. One of the fees that is kind of a little bit confusing sometimes is the escrow fee. So here, the escrow fee gets split 50-50. Now, there's a few times when I talk to someone, they say, oh, well, I'm splitting the closing costs with the seller. Well, no, it's actually only that one fee that is split. When you're a seller, you're going to be responsible for anything that is associated with your side of the transaction. So the real estate commissions that you're going to pay, typically the transfer tax, or at least that's how we do it here in Fresno, the owner's title policy. If there's a homeowners association, anything associated with transferring the documents from the seller to the buyer, that's going to be the seller's responsibility. Kind of a good ballpark number for you would be as if about 6 to 8% of the sales price was used. That's going to get you pretty close if you're the seller. If you're the buyer, maybe about 2 to 3%, that's also going to get you pretty close to what you would be responsible for as far as the closing cost goes. Now, again, it's all negotiable. So everything can change, everything can be up in the air. In times when it's a buyer's market, we see sellers paying buyers' closing costs. It's such a hot market right now that there's times we're seeing the buyer pay the seller's closing costs. So it really is all negotiable, but hopefully that gives you some good ballpark numbers about what to expect when you're getting into a contract and who's dealing with closing costs. But of course, if you have any questions or there's anything that you need, feel free to give me a call or shoot me an email. Thanks.